Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Gates channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit like for more daily drama updates and spoilers. Your support truly means a lot and helps our channel grow every day. Now, let's jump straight into today's exciting update. Dani gets far more than she bargained for when she decides to check in on Nicole, completely unaware that her innocent visit is about to turn into one of the most awkward and unforgettable moments between the sisters. On Beyond the Gates, the conversation surrounding Nicole's complicated love life has been growing louder all week, with her feelings for two very different men becoming impossible to ignore. But on Thursday, July 30th, Dani is about to get a much more personal look at her sister's romantic situation than she ever expected. The Dupree celebration apparently does not end at Uptown because Nicole and Keel continue enjoying the festivities back at Nicole's place, allowing the excitement of the evening to carry over into a much more intimate setting. For Nicole and Kyle, the night seems to be unfolding exactly as they want it to, with no reason to believe anything could interrupt them. But that peaceful moment is about to disappear in an instant when Dani arrives at precisely the worst possible time. The interruption could not be more awkward, yet in a strange way, Dani may actually be the best person who could have walked through that door. Nicole and Kyle are left completely stunned when Dani catches them in a compromising situation. And for Dani, the shock is so overwhelming that there is almost nothing she can do except react. BTG's weekly video preview captures the hilariously uncomfortable moment as Dani immediately covers her eyes after walking into Nicole's bedroom, clearly wishing she could erase the entire scene from her memory. The tension is embarrassing enough for everyone involved, but it also carries a playful edge because Dani is not exactly furious so much as completely overwhelmed by what she has just witnessed. Later, after the initial shock begins to fade, Dani even manages to commend her sister for finding the willpower to leave Kial in bed long enough to come downstairs and actually talk to her. That small remark says more than it seems to on the surface, because beneath the humor lies the growing realization that Nicole's relationship with Kyle may be becoming much more serious than she originally intended. Earlier in the week, Nicole had already been struggling with the consequences of leaning so heavily on Kyle while still having Carlton in her life. She worried that Ted's business partner might begin to believe she was taking advantage of him or using his affection simply because she was emotionally torn between two men. At the same time, Nicole has genuinely been enjoying the experience of dating both men, and that has only made the situation more complicated because neither relationship appears easy for her to walk away from. Yet Ted offered Nicole a perspective she may not be able to ignore for much longer when he pointed out that she has repeatedly been inviting Kyle to family events. That detail carries real weight because bringing someone into the family circle is rarely a meaningless choice, especially when emotions are already involved. Nicole may insist that she has not made a final decision, but her actions could be revealing something her words have not yet admitted. With Dani getting a first-hand look at just how close Nicole and Kyle have become, the question now becomes even more unavoidable. Is Nicole finally moving toward ending the love triangle? While Dani finds herself distracted by the unexpected romantic drama happening inside Nicole's bedroom, another family conflict is exploding elsewhere, and this one is far less amusing. Bill is once again pulled into the middle of a confrontation he would much rather avoid as Haley clashes with Naomi and Chelsea. The tension surrounding this family has been building for a long time, but Bill's recent health scare has intensified everything, bringing long-standing frustrations to the surface in a way that can no longer be ignored. Naomi and Chelsea do not believe Haley is doing enough to care for their father, and their concerns have become a source of anger, suspicion, and resentment. From their perspective, Bill deserves more attention and protection, and they are increasingly convinced that Haley is failing him when he needs his family most. Haley, meanwhile, appears emotionally exhausted by the constant pressure surrounding Bill and the family as a whole. More than anything, she wants to be finished with this family, and she is determined to do whatever she can to make that separation happen. That desire to escape may be part of what makes Haley's behavior so suspicious, especially when another mystery begins to take shape on Thursday. Martin questions his sister about a strange and suspicious conversation she had with Smitty the previous night, immediately raising the possibility that Haley knows more than she is willing to reveal. The question may be connected to Smitty's ongoing mission to uncover the truth about Lynette Wise and her ties to Leah Whitmore, whose disappearance remains shrouded in unanswered questions. Smitty has already tried to get information directly from Leah, but the interview gave him nothing useful, leaving the journalist with more questions than answers. He also sat down with Haley, hoping she might provide some missing piece of the puzzle, but she served up absolutely nothing that could help him move the investigation forward. Yet cases like this rarely stay buried forever, especially when there are people who refuse to let the unanswered questions go. And if Smitty has reached another dead end, there may be one person at Fairmont Crest who can help him see the mystery from a completely different angle. That person could be Kat, the community's favorite true crime enthusiast whose fascination with mysteries has already brought her dangerously close to the Lynette situation before. Kat once even suggested that she and Smitty team up for a podcast, proving just how naturally her obsession with crime stories fits with his journalistic instincts. Now, with Smitty struggling to make sense of Lynette Wise's connections to Leah Whitmore and Haley, he may have reason to turn to Kat for help. Kat and Thomas had already spent time looking into the Lynette situation, and Thomas was particularly interested in understanding exactly what connection existed between Haley and Lynette. The mystery became so difficult to ignore that Kat eventually started digging deeper herself, even though her investigation angered Bill and created another layer of tension for the family. She eventually backed away from the search, but she never completely lost the feeling that Lynette was far shadier than she had allowed people to believe. Now the unanswered questions are beginning to circle back around, and Kat may hold information that could become surprisingly important. She once spoke with Smitty's journalist husband about the Lynette mystery, and there is a real possibility that the details of that conversation could shed new light on the strange connections surrounding the case. The problem is that Kat's knowledge may put her in a difficult position, especially when the person asking for answers is her own brother. Will Kat finally tell him everything she learned, including the details of her conversation with his journalist husband, or will she once again keep the most important pieces of the puzzle to herself? As Nicole's romantic entanglement becomes harder to hide, Haley's family war grows hotter, and the mystery surrounding Lynette continues to deepen. Thursday's episode of Beyond the Gates promises to bring several explosive storylines together, from what begins with Dani walking into the wrong bedroom at the worst possible moment could ultimately become just one small piece of a much larger emotional storm that is gathering across Fairmont Crest. And as all of these tensions collide, the real danger may not be in the arguments themselves, but in the secrets waiting beneath them. Nicole's increasingly intimate connection with Kial is forcing her to confront feelings she may have been trying to keep balanced between two men, while Dani's unexpected discovery has given her a glimpse into just how far that relationship may have progressed. At the same time, Bill remains trapped between Haley, Naomi, and Chelsea as their frustrations over his care threaten to tear the family apart even further. Haley's determination to distance herself from the family only adds another layer of suspicion, particularly now that Martin is questioning her about her conversation with Smitty. And behind all of it, The mystery of Lynette Wise, Leah Whitmore, and Haley continues to linger like a shadow that no one has managed to escape. Smitty may believe that he has reached a dead end after getting nothing useful from Leah or Haley, but the pieces he needs could already be scattered among people who have been involved in the mystery before. Kat's earlier investigation with Thomas, her suspicions about Lynette, and her conversation with Smitty's journalist husband could all become more meaningful as the questions surrounding Lynette continue to grow. What once seemed like a strange and unsettling side mystery now has the potential to touch multiple lives at Fairmont Crest, especially if someone finally decides to reveal what they know. Kat may have stopped digging because of the trouble her investigation caused, but abandoning the search does not necessarily mean the truth disappeared with it. Sometimes the biggest secrets survive because the people who know the most are the ones who hesitate to speak. And now, with Martin asking questions and Smitty refusing to let the mystery go, the pressure on everyone connected to the story may be stronger than ever. Meanwhile, Nicole's situation carries its own quiet uncertainty because the awkward bedroom encounter may have exposed something she has been reluctant to admit even to herself. Her time with Kyle is no longer simply about enjoying the attention of two men or trying to understand what she wants from her love life. The fact that she continues bringing Kyle into family celebrations suggests that her emotional attachment may already be influencing the choices she makes, even while Carlton remains part of the equation. Dani's reaction may have been funny on the surface, but the moment could leave a lasting impression on both sisters, especially as Nicole begins to realize that her actions are becoming impossible to separate from her feelings. What happens next in this love triangle may depend less on what Nicole says and more on what she continues to do. And if Ted is right that inviting Kial into the family means something, then Nicole may already be closer to making a choice than she realizes. As Thursday's drama draws everything into sharper focus, every character seems to be standing on the edge of a decision, a confrontation, or a revelation. Dani has seen something she can never unsee. Nicole is being pushed closer to an emotional choice. Bill is caught in the middle of another brutal family clash. And Haley's desire to leave continues to raise questions about what she might be hiding. At the same time, Smitty's determination to understand the truth about Lynette and Leah keeps the mystery alive. While Kat may hold information that could finally help connect the pieces, nothing feels settled and every answer seems capable of creating another question. That is what makes the atmosphere around Fairmont Crest so unpredictable. Behind every ordinary conversation, there could be a hidden motive, a buried secret, or a truth waiting for the right moment to emerge. And as these storylines continue to collide, the next revelation could change everything.